All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. If everyone could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We've got one add-on resolution for pay for the members of the board of the Assessment Review Board. Dale, highway report, please.
Good evening. With the recent nice weather, it's been a busy month. With the help from Keeler Construction Company and trucks from Clarendon, Berry, Royalton, Alabama Ridgeway, we were able to pave the parking lot here at the town hall, and I think it came out very nice. Our trucks were sent to assist the village in their paving project. In May, we had another water main break on Saltworks Road. The village and the town of Berry assisted us in that repair. With the help of Suitcoat, we paved a mile of Martin Road between Sanderson and Waterworks. We used up millings we'd obtained from the village project. Because they were fresh, we were able to dial down the oil amount, and as of now, we are $20,000 under budget. In a month or so, after it cures, we will be able to seal and add shoulders to it. We will more than likely be using more of the millings for shoulders, keeping the cost down to a bare minimum. Bear with us, it will be over with soon. Town line and culvert roads were finished up, with Millennium Roads coming in with some of his product and using our salt brine that we have on hand to seal and help dust control on them. Money well spent. I attended highway school last week, was very informative, and had an opportunity to network with other departments. Several lawns were repaired after stumps were ground out. We assisted the town of Clarendon with their grader paving. Town of Berry will be after that, and then it's Shelby's turn. We've been waiting for the water in Oak Orchard Creek to subside to have 2 leaking valves repaired. This week, Shelby Construction Company arrived and did a water service, which turned into another water main repair, plus installing a new 12-inch valve in the main line. Removing 2 valves that were leaking. It was a very difficult job. We are thankful they were available to do this. Thank you, Shelby Construction. You and your men did an outstanding job. As of tonight, I believe Shelby has no leaking assets. Been a 2-month battle. I have submitted to the supervisor and the town board the quotes for 2 new plow trucks, and I ask for your approval, please. We continue to mow roadsides, parks, fire halls, and vaults. And let's not forget our ever-constant nemesis, the stacking of e-waste. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Tricia here tonight? No. No Tricia. Planning board report? Mr. Kerr?
Hopefully this is the last time I talk about training, but we've got 2 members on the board that are going to be signed up for the June 27th training put on in Albion by the state. There'll be 4 hours training. Pretty much all my members are up to speed on all the training required. The other thing I'd like to ask is if the town clerk could put an ad in the paper for an alternate on the planning board. And along with that, also put a notice in that we are changing our July meeting from July 4th to July 5th. And that'll be it.
Can you let Darlene know all that? Or Dottie? Dottie, oh yeah. Thank you. Zoning, code enforcement.
Good evening. Code enforcement report for May 2023. In May, I issued 6 building permits, 2 for porch roofs over an existing porch, 2 permits for decks, 1 building permit for an addition, and 1 for a swimming pool. I issued 3 violation letters / orders to remedy. 2 were for high grass, both at Shelby Center. I'm waiting to hear from them. If I hear from them, I'll be lucky. And a violation letter for failure to obtain a building permit, and that's been corrected. Also, I met with the Shelby Volunteer Fire Company last night, and Chief Dave Moden shortly, and I asked them to look into the possibility of doing a controlled burn on a house on Johnson Road, the structure I've condemned. Working closely with Dale Root and any other residents who are willing to give some advice. We're exploring all options to demo this structure for the least amount of cost to the town. And I'm waiting to hear from, actually, Dave was supposed to call me tonight. He may still call me, and we'll head up there and take a look at it. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Just keep us updated on it.
I'll do that.
Thanks, Dan. All right, resolutions. Resolution to approve the May 17th, 2023 Town Board minutes.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution to approve the clerk's report for May.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passed. We worked out the glitch in the software. So, resolution to approve the supervisor's report for March.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed. Resolution to approve the supervisor's report for April.
So move. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Resolution to approve the supervisor's report for May.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Approved. Resolution to approve to pay the claims against the town.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None. Passed. Resolution to pay the members of the Assessment Review Board at a rate of $20 per hour for hours worked beyond normal hours. This, John and
I have to sustain.
Yes, I abstain from this.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Information for the town. Last board meeting, we were asked to approve $10,000 from ARPA funds for Butts Park. The board approved the $10,000 and gave the check to Medina. Open it up for board comments. Eddie?
Yeah, I've got some I gotta read. There's this hasn't been there's a, let's see, there was a controller's audit back in 2017, and there's never been any resolution. I haven't received any reports, and So I took the liberty to send it to a couple of attorneys in one in Rochester, one in Buffalo, and they read it over and they seem to think that something should be done with a a private firm outside to figure out where there's a discrepancy of variances of from over $1 million to in 2017 to 153,000 in December 2020, and there's never been resolved, as far as I'm concerned, with all the resignations for the supervisors and everything. So one of the attorneys was kind enough to come down tonight and talk to the public, and he's going to say a few words. Aaron, nice, come up, please.
Eddie contacted me and asked me to take a look at comptroller's report from December 2021. Just by way of background, I grew up in the community. My mom lives over on Furness Parkway. I moved away for a little while to Washington, D.C., and relocated like a lot of people during COVID. I got anxious and tired of being in a big city where I was in Washington, and came back to Buffalo. I'm with a firm here. Eddie called me and asked me to take a look at this. And I speak with a lot of humility because I don't know the background. I don't know what might have been done since this report. But looking at it kind of with the assumption that that maybe no one came in afterwards and took a closer look at what the state found, what the state comptroller found, and tried to resolve whatever the discrepancies were, and then perhaps help you guys come up with some policies, procedures, best practices going forward to make sure the books were in order, made a lot of sense. So I recommended a firm to Eddie to talk to about it, a CPA, forensic accounting firm called the Bondio Group. I've done a lot of work with them, and they have people who specialize in this kind of work. And if the matter hasn't been tended to, I think it makes a lot of sense to figure it out. There were some discrepancies in terms of cash inlays versus what was represented in the town's bank account. Some of them, as Eddie said, were upwards of $1 million for some years, down to 100-something thousand, and a lot of this might be, innocent error that was made, but it's a lot of money, and I think it makes sense to. Again, I speak with a lot of humility. I don't have a lot of background in it, but just looking at the report and on the assumption that there wasn't much that happened afterwards, and that might make sense because, again, it was published in the middle of COVID. There's been a lot of turnover, so it might not be a bad idea to have someone come in behind and who's independent, isn't connected to anybody here, and take a look at the books and try to figure it out. You guys make sure it's cleaned up going forward. So, happy to answer any questions to the extent I can. So. I don't know. There were recommendations made by the state comptroller, and it sounds like there were some steps that were commenced. I don't know, what the outcome of those were, if they followed through, if all the issues have been resolved. So, it's my understanding that it hadn't been resolved. So that's why I was asking about it. I was called. I haven't been paid anything at all. I'm here free of charge. Why was I asked to take a look? I was asked to take a look and offer my recommendation as to what would make sense. If I ran a corporation and I got a report like this from somebody, I'd probably want an independent forensic accounting firm to come in and take a look at the books and talk to the bookkeeper and figure out what happened, where the money went, what the mistakes were. Hopefully there's, nothing other than just, accounting errors that can be rectified, come up with some policies and procedures to make sure that, that the bookkeeping going forward is in good shape and that you guys know where your money is and that it's all accounted for and being spent properly. I would advise, I would recommend, what I would recommend to a client would be, hey, you would probably want to bring in someone who's independent, take a look at the report and the bank accounts, receivables, all the kinds of things that an accountant would do to just try to figure out, because the state said that they couldn't figure some things out when they looked at this. There were discrepancies that were unaccounted for. So I think that, Bonadio, I don't want to, I haven't seen whatever they recommended or what they quoted, but, we're talking probably less than $7,000, not, tens and $20,000 type of thing. So it would be extremely cost absorbent, especially when you consider the amount of money in terms of expenses. Well,
Larry, I can speak to that. We already have an independent accountant that handles this. This came up from when they switched from paper books to electronic books. They didn't match. And we have a contract accountant on the outside that does our books, that handles all this. They're finishing it up right. There's no money missing anywhere. They have to, what's that called? Reconcile everything, yeah. They're finishing up reconciling. There's no money missing anywhere from past administrations or anything. They just have to reconcile it because they went from the paper books to the electronic and somehow the numbers didn't match, is what I've been told. And that's what the independent accounting firm we have, that's what they're doing now. Anything else, Ed? John?
Nothing tonight.
Steve? Ed? Jeff?
Nothing.
Before I open up for comments, I received an email today from a resident asking me, she couldn't attend tonight's meeting. She wanted me to read her email, cleared it through the town attorney. I'm not able to attend tonight's town board meeting, but I was wondering if you could read my letter at the meeting. I am requesting that the town board require that Edward Zelani recuse himself from all discussion of overlay zones and industrial zones within the town. He and his family have a financial conflict of interest with the quarry permit that the DEC just renewed. As the sons of Mr. Mahar and Mr. Zelani Sr. are taking over the quarry fight in place of their fathers. Renewing that permit is a formality and a wake-up call for the rest of the town residents. The DEC permit means nothing as far as the Zelanis and Frontier Stone LLC being able to start operating a quarry. The town's zoning laws prohibit that type of industry in a non-industrial zone and the refuge overlay zone. An industrial quarry in the residential area and near the refuge also violates the Orleans County Comprehensive Plan. After reading the entire permit letter, I noticed a condition of the permit whereby it must be visibly posted on the permitted property. As of this writing, I don't believe it has. I want to give you some history for anyone on the board who is unfamiliar with the quarry fight. It started in 2006 when the residents of Fletcher Chapel Road found out about the Zelani's intention to lease their land to Frontier Stone LLC to build a nearly 300-acre quarry on the land adjacent to the Iroquois National Wildlife Refuge. At that time, they contacted me. The fight should have ended in 2019 when the New York Supreme Court upheld the town of Shelby's overlay zone, prohibiting the quarry in that location. The court found no merit in the lawsuit brought by Frontier Stone, but here we are again with one of the Zelanis in a position to effect a change in the zoning laws. In 2006, the town surveyed the residents regarding wind and industrial quarrying. Overwhelmingly, the residents were against industrial mining anywhere but in an industrial zone, specifically not near the refuge. The town put a memorandum moratorium on wind, solar, and quarrying permits at that time. For the next 13 years, I, along with Ken Printup, Wayne Dickinson, and hundreds of residents and non-residents concerned about the potential damage to the refuge and the quiet rural way of life for those living near the quarry site, worked our tails off to get the facts out and to protect the neighborhoods and the refuge. We researched, we collected monthly well water data, we got trained in hydrology by the U.S. Geological Survey in Ithaca, New York. We wrote articles for newspapers and the Hub correcting false information spread by Frontier Stone, and later the image consultants hired by Frontier. Unfortunately, there was no doubt that the DEC would issue the permit. The seeker process does not protect even the state's most delicate ecosystems. The town residents and the town board, through their land use attorney Daniel Spitzer, worked day and night to tighten the local laws to avoid generations worth of damage and disruption to the residents in the refuge. Currently, a candidate running for town board is telling people that the Zelanis back him. He has publicly stated his opposition to the town's overlay zone. This should say to the board all you need to know about the need for diligence and transparency and avoiding the appearance of impropriety in making the decisions where a board member stands to benefit from these decisions financially. In closing, I would like to thank the board for the town's Facebook page. It has been an invaluable resource for informing residents of things happening in the town and how the town is addressing issues such as the cemetery mowing. I appreciate all the work that has made this a clear source of information for the town. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Wendy Pensil, resident, 11207 Ryan Road, Town of Shelby. And I don't have any comments. I'll open up for public comments on agenda items. Yes, ma'am. Come up, state your name, speak into the mic.
I just wanted to check, last month I was at the meeting and I mentioned that I was interested in purchasing that outhouse at Mount Sinai Cemetery, and I was just wondering if you want to make a decision now.
Yeah, we discussed that tonight. You can have it. Well, we're gonna charge you $1 for it. We're not gonna give it to you.
Okay.
But you're gonna sign a release of liability.
Okay,
That
sounds
way,
like a fair
it's
deal.
yours, the town's not held liable for anything. So,
So just stay after the meeting then, and do I need to do anything now?
we'll get it done this week.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Yes, ma'am, come on up.
Marguerite Sherman from the Village of Medina. I wanted to follow up on the basketball courts with you, and first of all, I want to say thank you for approving the $10,000 that is now donated to the basketball courts. And we are moving forward. The Mustang Sports Boosters were able to get some help from Shelby Crushed Stone, so that now the mayor was able to sign the agreement, the super seal coating, and the basketball courts are moving forward this summer and hopefully will be in by this fall. But thank you. It takes communities to come together to provide good things for everyone. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I don't want to waste too much
Up.
public time.
State your name.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm Justin Gray. I'm an Ondor's person running for councilman. I met everybody else up here, but I've never had a chance to meet you, Scott. I know I recently reached out to you, and then Miranda Facebook messaged me during Memorial Weekend and said she would give you my number, but I haven't heard from you, so I wanted to come and debunk all the rumors that you guys are starting about me. I am not nobody's backing me. The only reason I am running for councilman is because I'm young and I want to help the town of Shelby. I have no agenda. I'm like a lot of people here. I have nothing against me. I just want to debunk all the accusations that you guys are making up towards me. And if you guys want to speak for me at any time, you can come speak to me personally instead of spreading rumors. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Bill? No report from the county. Larry?
Lawrence Waters, Senior. Just a couple of things. Alluded to in that email there about the Facebook page that was started in December, which I thought was awesome. However, the recent decision to disable comments, I think is not a good thing. I'm just wondering if there's something specific you can speak to that caused you to make that decision.
So there were a number of comments that didn't comply with what the town required that would be considered bullying or inappropriate. And it's very difficult to filter comments under the law as it currently exists. There's a case in front of the United States Supreme Court that will hopefully clarify some of those issues. So in the face of inappropriate comments, the best thing to do is just disallow all comments for the time being and to make the page just an informational page. So this board will reconsider whether and how to permit comments once the Supreme Court issues its decision in the fall.
Well, as an admin, you can hide comments.
Well, we
delete
stopped comments on a post. Somebody wrote us, threatened to sue us. I had to contact legal. She says no comments for anyone now. There was a resident in Shelby threatening to sue us. Legal says shut off comments. I have to shut off comments.
Well, it's a shame because
until the Supreme Court makes a decision.
Okay.
I'm just looking out. If they sue us, then the town has to pay to defend itself. So you're better off with no comments and not going to litigation.
No, I can appreciate that. We had, for a little period of time there, we had a water payment portal on the website, which I was able to use for the first quarter's bill. Worked out quite nicely after I was able to find the account, which ironically wasn't filed under what I thought it would be. That went away. I had to cut a check. It's the only bill I had to cut a check for. Send my wife down here to pay the bill. She was informed that they're working on a new system, and that would be available for the next quarter's bill. My question is this software we're purchasing? Is this a third-party thing? Is this internal? What did it cost to have the first one put in place? Why was it taken down? And what's it costing to have this newer one put in place? What were the problems with that?
The system we had, the board purchased new software last year, which handles the town clerk, correct me if I'm wrong, Laurie, town clerk, the water department, handles the whole town hall. And the town purchased that software last year because we're using separate programs in each thing. So when the secretary needs to run a report, she'd have to go to each department to get the reports. Now she can pull the reports off of one program. But it's a matter of getting each office up and running. That's why the supervisor reports have been late, trying to get the program reconciled. Reconciled for us. It's working. Is there a reason the portal's not up, Lori, that you know of? Okay, so as soon as we can get that worked out with security, the portal will be back open.
Okay. Then the last thing I had on here, I didn't know who Justin Gray was until just a moment ago. Obviously, we've got a primary coming up. I would hope that all the potentials are at this meeting tonight, and you know, possibly if they had anything they wanted to say to the people that took the time to show up. Just curious if that's of any interest to any of them. Is all. Thank you.
Anyone else? No, nobody? Can I get a motion? Okay, Charlene.
Okay, I just want to say that the cemetery does look wonderful. Oh, I'm Charlene Pratt. Yes. For those that don't know me, I've been very upset with the way the cemetery looked for Memorial Day. But I will say now, after Memorial Day, that week, they got busy and they got it looking very nice. So I'm just very happy the way it turned out and the way it looks. So we did talk to the guys at the cemetery, I did, and I told them how it really upset me, and they said they're going to take care of it and it will never look like that again. So just want to say thank you for whatever anyone did to get on top of it, because I'm over there all the time. So, but thank you. So.
Larry, just out of going over what you just said about the people that are running for council, Jeff Schiffer, who is on the board, if you'd like to speak with him, he's there, and Linda Lehman is in the back in case you wanted to meet her, or if they'd want to talk to you. They are here, so if you want to speak with them. Oh, yeah, and Billy Walters is here also. He's running for highway superintendent.
Charlene, in reference to the lawn mowing, Steve and I sat down with Tim Newton, and he was sending his crews out, and he apologized he wasn't checking. And I told him, I said, well, this is your one chance, because the next letter you're going to get from me is a termination. And he kept his word, and I'm glad you're happy with it. So, anyone else? Dan, you look rough tonight. Okay. Can I get a motion to?
Make motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.